which the Phillies did not feel in Atlanta last night. And listen, I thought they would take 2 of 3. I would be okay with 2 of 3, so they still have the chance to do that. But last night, I think what we did, we put too much emphasis on the fact that Zach Wheeler was pitching and not enough emphasis on the fact that Ronaldo Lopez is pretty good. And he cuffed the Phillies lineup. And he certainly cuffed them at the top of the lineup. Listen, it's no secret that these guys at the top of the lineup have to carry him. You can't go 0 for 17 or whatever they were with all these strikeouts, especially Bryce Harper striking out 3 times against Ronaldo Lopez. But the bottom of the order didn't deliver either. Johan Rojas stranded at 5 runners last night? Bill Colorillo and Ray Dunner with me today. Was it 5, Bill, that he stranded last night?
I know he left.
Bottom of the order, let him down as well.
I think he left 3 on base.
3?
I believe he left
3 on base?
That feels low because he had the bases loaded, and I think he left 2. I think you're right about 5.
I think he left 5. He left 5 on base.
5 on base, 3 in scoring position is what I think it was. But he was 0 for 3. He did leave the bases loaded. The team went 1 of 6, 1 for 6 with runners in scoring.
Yeah, and so people are going, see, Mike? I know. I got him to tweet yesterday. See? That rest day for Harper that you were talking about yesterday was so beneficial. Look what he did.
Yeah, that may have been me tweeting at you.
Was that you?
That was ridiculous, man.
Yeah, so listen, again, I'd never get flustered with baseball. I don't look at it like they're in trouble because to do that is to presume that everybody else is going to play great baseball, and they're not. Nobody plays great baseball for an entire season. So if you're worried about the Dodgers or the Milwaukee Brewers or the Atlanta Braves overtaking the Phillies, if the Phillies win the next 2, there's nothing ventured, nothing gained by the Braves, right? Nothing. So you know how hard it is to make up that many games. Are you actually worried, Bill, about the Phillies squandering the lead in the NL East?
I am not worried about the NL East.
Okay.
I don't think that – I said that yesterday. Even if they lose 2 or 3 here, I'm not worried about the NL East. I don't think the Braves can catch them, especially with all their injuries. But I do have legitimate concerns still that they're going to have to play in the wild card round. Because if the season ended today, the Philadelphia Phillies would be the 3rd highest seed in the National League, which means they would be opening up a 3-game series in the wild card against the Atlanta Braves. I'd rather see them get that bye. That would be an epic collapse if they fall all the way to the wild card.
Is there a new rule in Major League Baseball that the season ends on August 21st? I don't know. Maybe while I was sleeping, did they pass that overnight?
So you have confidence with the way this team's playing.
If the season ended today, you're giving me?
The way this team is playing, you have confidence that the Milwaukee Brewers, who have won 6 in a row, 7 of their last 10, yeah, they lost Yelich, big loss for them. But you feel confident right now with 37 games to go that the Philadelphia Phillies will finish in the top 2 of the National League.
Yes. I have no worries at all. I didn't even blink.
No worries at all.
I have no worries at all.
You do look calm today, I got to tell you.
I'm as comfortable as somebody in the right lane of a 3-lane highway. That's how comfortable I am.
You know what I think you must have done?
What's that?
You must have read that book that Nick Sirianni read.
No, we'll get to that book in a little bit. What I'm saying to you is, here's what usually happens to teams when they lose a player. They get a boost of adrenaline. They don't fall apart. They give, like last night. This was the first night they lost Austin Riley, right? And the Braves though Gio Urshela couldn't hit, with an oar he couldn't hit a baseball at this stage of his career, and they're playing all these fill-in players. I mean, they got Albies out, they got all these players out.
How about Merrifield, man?
And Merrifield hits triple and doubles first couple times up. So that adrenaline carries those kind of teams through temporarily. But the Milwaukee Brewers are eventually going to feel the heat of losing Christian Yelich, which means they're not going to continue to play at this pace. And this is the thing that you, when your high school coach said you're a football meathead, this is the thing that you have to wade through. That Mike, baseball goes in cycles with teams being hot and not.
And how long do we have to go through this cycle with the Phillies?
Well, I don't know.
They haven't been good,
They got a whole month and a half of baseball left.
What made this team so good all before the All-Star break was they had a great bullpen.
What is it?
Bullpen struggled, man.
The bullpen will come back. The bullpen gets fatigued.
You feel good about Alvarado today?
Bullpen stays from game 1 to 162 where they're going to be efficient. There's always bullpen problems with teams.
You feel good about Alvarado today?
No, he's out of sync.
All right, so let me ask you this.
He's out of sync. When you throw, when you have the 3-ball count, you throw one in the dirt. You have no cheat. Your mechanics are completely messed up. So they got to get him right.
So let me ask you that.
Uh-huh.
You trust Rob Thompson, and I don't think.
I mean, we're gonna discuss that issue. I trust him. I don't think many people do, but this will bring us to a talking point today about who do we trust more. We're about to play you a press conference that I think is a pretty good indication of your trust in a particular head coach. But we're gonna after we play that, we're gonna ask you the question, ask the fans the question on what manager / coach do they trust most to bring it home? That's going to be the theme for today.
Well,
now you are opening a can that says you don't trust Rob Thompson. We know you explicitly trust the other guy.
No, I don't explicitly. No, I don't explicitly trust you.
You're wearing a hat in the lobby said it had an S on it, and that's not for state.
I have a Sirianni jersey. No, but with Nick Sirianni, my point was he deserved to come back. And I'm not ready to say I don't trust Rob Thompson, but I am left scratching my head at some of these decisions. So you tell me that it was a smart move to keep Bryce Harper on the bench.
I didn't say it was a smart move. I said it was, according to the manager, it was a smart move. That's different than what a fan feels. A manager has a better pulse of that than a fan does.
Okay, so you're making my point for me. So the manager felt that it was good to keep Bryce Harper on the bench on Sunday night when he had an opportunity to try to tie up the game. But then last night, the manager lets Jose Alvarado throw 34 damn pitches in the 8th and walk 4 of 6 batters before he goes out there and says, you know what, maybe this guy doesn't have it tonight. Now, that's not why they lost. The bats let them down. But it's decisions like that where I'm having a difficult time trusting this guy. And I'm a Rob Thompson guy.
He trusts his players. And here's the other thing. What's Wednesday's game? What do we know about Wednesday's game? That it might have to be what? A bullpen game.
No, you're going to have Sanchez.
Yeah, well, you don't know that. You can't manage assuming stuff. So he's saying, I might need my pen. Who else would I bring in that situation? I got to trust Alvarado, and I got to leave him in there to let him get out of his funk, because if I use a couple more pitchers here, I got to worry about Wednesday. You got to manage the season, not a game.
And that's why I'm still even more frustrated about Sunday, Mike.
Baseball analysis is going to make me
But this
crazy.
is why I'm more frustrated about Sunday.
I'm going to be in a loony bin.
You should be in a loony bin.
He's trying to get Alvarado right. How do you get him out right? By taking him out of the game?
By letting him walk
and wrecking his confidence? Well, he trusted him to get out. He didn't get it out. So now they got to work on some mechanics. But you got other factors to worry about. You got to go, I got to give this guy a chance to get out of here. He's a premier pitcher. He gets out of here. Maybe that rights him. Wednesday, we might have to use a lot of guys in the bullpen. You got to look at these things. You don't look at these things. You look at it like a football guy where we got to call this play right now.
No. Listen. This is why, when you go back to Sunday, that I was so frustrated with waving the white flag in the 9th inning. Because to your point, you don't know. You got to manage for an entire season. So if you're telling me that Wednesday could be a bullpen game, you need to try to win on Sunday against a bad Nationals team, and you didn't give yourself the best chance to win.
Oh, my God.
And now you come out last night.
We're back to this Bryce Harper didn't pitch hit topic.
Well, it certainly helped him.
You're not going to let this go?
Certainly helped him. 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts. He looked real rested.
God, it happens in baseball that even if you get a day of rest, that doesn't guarantee you're going to get 3 hits. It's baseball.
Listen, you're going to be saying that all the way until the wild card round, man, because right now they are not looking like a team that's going to finish in the top 2. And I have fans on YouTube saying they want them to finish in the wild card.
Ray, I need you. I need to come in here. I need a refreshing drink of cold water from Ray Dunn. Ray, what do you got for me here?
Oh,
You listen to this
Don't you
maniac.
do it, Ray.
He's still hung up on Bryce Harper not pinch hitting on Sunday.
Yeah, I can't believe we went back there. I didn't think today we'd get back to the Bryce Harper conversation from Sunday.
Because it doesn't make sense that you say, I want to rest Harper, but I'm going to let Alvarado go 34 pitches and walk 4 of
He's
6 damn
trying
batters.
to get him out of his slump.
It makes the
How do you
sense
do that?
By letting him,
a hitter,
letting him
to
walk
get a
in and
hitter
run?
out of his slump, you got to keep sending him out there.
The option that he went to afterwards was a guy that was in AAA until a week and a half ago. Of course he's going to trust Alvarado. He wants to see what he's got in Alvarado right now. This goes back to the same thing that happened with Sunday when he trusts his guy to hit in that situation.
Who else
He
are you
trusts his
bringing
guys
in
to-
that situation? Who else are you bringing in? Kirkering gives you an inning. You're now into the 8th inning. Who are you going to bring in there? Max Lazar?
That's
Alvarado's the guy you bring in there. Now, you trust him. He didn't get it done. Relief pitchers sometimes don't get it done.
I guess we got to define trust, Mike. Because, okay, you trust him. He walks one. Then he walks another one. I mean, how many times can you keep trusting him when he's out there? He clearly didn't have
when
it.
he walks 2, you're bringing Max Lazar in?
How about when he walks 3?
You're bringing... Max Lazar was the next guy. He obviously didn't want to use Hoffman, although he warmed him up. He obviously didn't want to use him. He had Max Lazar in that situation. So go over to play-by-play in the 8th inning, and I went Bill Colarudo to be the manager instead of Rob Thompson. All right, we are now in the bottom of the 8th inning, and you're telling me you would not have brought Alvarado in that situation. You had Olsen coming up. And then you had Ozuna leading it off. So you have to bring in a guy that pitches to 3 batters. You got 2 right-handed hitters coming up in that inning with Ozuna and Murphy. Who are you bringing in there?
I'm fine with bringing in Alvarado. But once it became clear that he didn't have any control or command over his pitches, I think you got to do something.
Oh, you do? Okay, so Ozuna walks.
He gets
Olsen grounds into a fielder's choice.
and then he gets Murphy strike out.
He strikes out Murphy.
Yeah.
Then he walks Soler. You're telling me at that point you're taking him out?
I'd probably let him go another batter.
Okay, so it's another batter. Okay, so Arcia then walks.
Now you
got to
make a
point,
move.
you're taking him out.
You have to. You have to, Mike. At that point, he has to be sat down. The guy clearly lost control and command over his pitches.
I'm manager. I look at it. I go, Gio Urshela can't hit anything. So if I'm going to make Alvarado feel good, it's got to be him getting out Gio Urshela. That's what he's thinking.